What's up, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Duran Duran. And we're going back to their 2015 album, Paper Gods. I've immensely enjoyed this album, and I'm sort of surprised by it. I mentioned when I think the first couple reactions, that when I had bought it online, I think I got it through Amazon, and just out of curiosity, as I was beginning this deep dive, I was curious about what other people were saying about it. And it seemed like there was a mixed reception. There were some people who said, don't listen to the haters, this is fantastic, and the collaborations are cool. But there were a lot of people who were like, I don't know, I feel like this is Duran, trying to stay relevant, trying to, link up with young artists and so on. But I really enjoyed it, and as I mentioned before, there's been a couple tunes where the lyrical content really struck me as profound, and even though I have to keep listening it, and maybe there are even contours yet more profound that I have not discovered or appreciated, it really has this awesome feel where it's like this grand and really dynamic pop music, but some of the themes feel like very personal, as well as public. Like I said, the Paper Gods, I feel like there's so much happening in that tune. So again, I've really enjoyed this. Once again, shout out to Nile Rodgers, showed up in a couple tunes. Shout out to Mr. Hudson, produced and wrote a number of tunes with them. So we're up to the tune Change the Skyline, and this one makes the point that it's featuring Jonas Bjerre. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Looks like maybe it's a Scandinavian name, just given the lettering. But yeah, I'm not sure who they are. We'll have to see if that's a vocalist. It feels like a lot of their guests tend to be vocalists. But yeah, this song was written by Taylor Rhodes LeVon and Mr. Hudson, once again. Produced by Duran Duran and Josh Blair. Additional production, Nile Rodgers, once again, shout out to Nile Rodgers. And then it says, Jonas Bjerre appears courtesy of Play It Again Sam Records. Incidentally, if you didn't know, in Casablanca, he never actually says Play It Again Sam. He says Play It Sam, and then later in the film he says Play It Again. But he doesn't actually say Play It Again Sam. So just a little bit of trivia for you when you want to be like nerdy with cinematic trivia. Regardless, as I said, this is Change the Skyline featuring Jonas Bjerre. I apologize if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. Oh! I'm getting like 80s synth-pop vibes. I listened to some Eurythmics recently. Oh, but that's a bit more 90s dance.
This is where it starts. Standing on the roof up here, saying goodbye to darkness. Now I can see the big
Lyrics about absence of light. It's cropping up everywhere.
You won't miss me when I'm gone. The only thing that's left is the feeling that
Makes me think of that line in the Radiohead song about like, I want you to notice when I'm not there.
something inside you says no way. How you said time. 'Cause I will love you now.
I said it's sort of 90s dance, and that breakdown, I feel it. But there was a moment there where it's like, yeah, 90s, but maybe also disco, maybe a little 70s.
Arrangement in time. Time to change the sky.
That's right, I didn't talk about the title. I'll see what I can catch and talk about it after. Look, I love screaming acid techno and wicked hardcore, but I can swing with some funky, like, I don't know, like house slash, like dance pop. I don't know. Tell me where you would place this one on that, like, dance, like, house continuum. I don't know. Like the bass. It's like really textured. It's like there's like multiple pads like kind of layering over each other. prescriptive, like normative suggestion. This is what you should do. It's time to change the skyline. I figure out like it was that keyboard like melody. It was like there's like so much going on that every time I'm trying to comment on something, I hear that like a different layer. Yeah, that. Again, it's like sort of chiptune-y a little bit. I enjoy the aural quality, and I was trying to, it's like, it almost has a video gamey sound, but I was trying to avoid using that phrase because that could be seen as sort of derogatory, which is not how I mean it. I actually very much enjoy chiptune. I grew up in the 80s, you know, I played video games in the 80s and 90s, so that kind of classic electronic, like early synth sound is very nostalgic to me. So I picked up on a little bit of the lyrics, it felt like, at least a couple of the lines, and again, this idea of like, you know, it's time to change the skyline. But yeah, what I would have said in advance is that change the skyline, it suggests to me like changing either the mood of your own psychology or the atmosphere and reality of society, you know, like changing what could be like gloomy, like cloudy skies into a brighter sky. Well, that could manifest in a number of different metaphors, and the idea that like you could choose to be more optimistic and more positive and to, you know, change the skyline of the way you're seeing the world, or indeed change the skyline in terms of like, you know, let's reconfigure society in ways that are perhaps, you know, more equitable and so on. So I feel like it could happen on a number of different levels, and perhaps, you know, it's meant to be multi-tiered in terms of its application and its relevance. So yeah, let me know if there's a particular angle on this one that is helpful, insightful toward understanding it. I did want to say there were a couple moments where I really enjoyed the singing. I don't know like if everything I was hearing was Simon, so like was the guest performer in that song Jonas, are they a singer, and is like part of what I heard was that not just Simon singing? So yeah, I'm not sure. It doesn't list like exactly what role they played in those credits there, so someone shout it out if you know. But other than that, thank you for listening and watching. I will see you next time. Peace.